Good afternoon, everyone. I was gonna do a whole Mama June one stream, but dude, it's like my friend Michelle just dropped this in my little lap, and I've been digging and trying to figure out what's going on. I have a little bit of information, not enough, but I was able to look at the court records for this. But Sarah Palin, the former governor and running mate of John McCain for president, so she was the vice president candidate against Barack Obama, has filed for, or her husband Todd has filed for divorce. He filed in Anchorage Superior Court on Friday, September 6th, and according to the court documents, he said that they cited his reason as incompatibility of temperament between the parties, such that they find it impossible to live together as husband and wife. Wow. Now, this isn't the first time there has been rumblings that this marriage might not be all that it's cracked up to be. There were allegations a couple years ago of cheating in this marriage, and People magazine had reported about the affair, but the couple had denied that all of those allegations when they went forward. There's been a ton of legal problems with this family over the past several years. Their oldest son, Track, was arrested for attacking Todd. Bristol hasn't really had any legal problems. She's just gone through a divorce and she's had a couple kids. But being that the family ran on a platform of family values, Bristol had a baby out of wedlock, for shame for the Christian family. And I'm trying to make sense of all of this. There's not a whole lot of details. In fact, a blogger figured all of this out because the couple filed under initials in the state of Alaska. So they filed using initials, and the blogger was able to actually, good on the blogger for figuring this out, because they filed using their initials, but their actual birth dates were used. And then they were able to deduct it based on their birth dates and the fact that it includes a minor child. So they still have their 11-year-old son, Trig, and he's asking for equal separation of assets and debts. 4 of the children are actually adults. So there's Track, Trig, Bristol, Willow, and Piper. So Track, Bristol, Willow, and Piper are all adults, but Trig, who is 11 years old and has Down syndrome, is their only minor child. This is I don't know if I should be shocked or not, but there's been a lot that's kind of happened in this family. So according to NBC News, it says that Todd had a snowmobile accident in 2016, and he suffered a broken and fractured rib and collapsed lung, a broken shoulder blade, a broken clavicle, and leg injuries. That was one time he was in the headlines. In 2011, MSNBC showed that Todd Palin regularly communicated with senior Alaska state officials on a wide range of topics. He was accused of when he was not supposed to be doing these types of communications, and he was communicating with them on oil and jet production, marine regulations, gas and pipe bids, post-secondary education, wildfires, budget vetoes, oil shale leasing. And yeah, that got him in trouble. And then Track got in trouble, and he was sentenced to a year in custody last year after a female acquaintance said that he told her that she could not leave his house in Wasilla, and he took away her phone and then hit her on the head. He was also, in 2017, Track was accused of breaking into his parents' house and leaving his dad bleeding from cuts on his head. He pleaded guilty in 2018 to a lesser charge in Veterans Court. This is I don't know if I should be shocked or if it's just par for the course. Now, I'm not You guys, I don't care about the politics here. I'm always like, I always just feel like there's this massive hypocrisy of people that like tout family values and like always have to shame other people for like having babies out of wedlock, or, getting divorced, or, people of, the LGBTQ having rights to get married. It's always like the ones that are like touting the family values that always have all of the skeletons in their closets. And apparently there was extramarital affairs that have been rocking this, rumors of these affairs that have rocked this marriage for years. And Todd has long been in the shadows of his wife, who has, by all intents and purposes, a more prominent name and been more successful in her career. So interesting that after 31 years, they would finally split. I'm wondering what the final straw was and how it got to this point. They haven't made any statements yet, which is totally weird. It says that the paperwork was submitted on August 29th, at 8 days after their anniversary. It only uses their initials. Yeah. And they want to keep Trigg living where he already is. They want to have joint custody and split the assets. And of course they would do this all on the down low, right? Like, do you think like this family that is so prominent to like shame other people for getting divorced and having babies without marriage and like all the things that they shame people about, do you think they were trying to do this like on the DL so people wouldn't find out that their lives aren't perfect? I mean, am I the only one that like smells the hypocrisy in all of this? I'm not the kind of person that will judge another family in terms of like if they choose to get married or don't get married. And in this case, it's like, why would you hide your divorce? I mean, I know you're a public figure, and all of their records are sealed. So when I'm in the documents for the court, you can see all of the dates and all of the filings. They requested a judge be changed out because of like a conflict of interest. So they assigned a new judge today. But other than that, like all the records in this are sealed. So why would they need to file under initials? Unless they don't want people to find out that their lives aren't as perfect as they seem, because they have been, yeah. I don't even know. I just think of all the families they have shamed over the years for not being perfect, and now their perfect family is falling apart. It's like poetic justice in a way. Not that I'd ever be like happy for somebody else's lives falling apart, but I always feel like the ones that are judging the hardest are the ones that have the most to hide. And I think this family probably has been dealing with an unhealthy dynamic in the marriage for a long time, and it's finally come to a head. Though why they're waiting at this point to call it quits, I still don't know. Maybe Todd is just ready to be outside of the shadow of his wife. I don't know. This family is shady. They are always doing shady things. I wouldn't be surprised if they were just trying to do this so that they could still pretend like they were married. Could you imagine if this wouldn't have broken and they just would have just gone on? They probably would have just like pretended they were married forever. I so bet Monica, it says they're getting divorced because they have an incompatibility of temperament and they find it impossible to live with each other. So Todd's all like, Sarah, you're so impossible, which I would actually agree. Like, she's a pretty impossible person to listen to. I, again, don't care about politics. I just can't stand her, like, judgment. I hate how judgmental she is. I could so see her pretending that everything was perfect. So I have nothing against people that are Christian, because I have many Christian followers and subscribers that are not judgmental and are open and accepting of other people. But this has been a family that has been very critical of everyone for not doing the things the Christian way, for having, but then they're also the ones that haven't been able to abide by any of those rules. So I always find it funny when this happens. Not like ha ha funny, but this is ironic. So I'll keep you posted as more follows. I have been trying to dig. I haven't been able to find very much so far, but I will definitely keep digging and looking and seeing if I can find anything in the Alaska news stuff. The blogger that uncovered it only talked about how they hadn't been posting a lot on social media. She has primarily been focused on her son and her children when she's on her Twitter. They talked about how he recently had a race and she didn't really say anything. They haven't been seen in public in quite some time. So this has obviously been a long time coming, but what and when and all of it, how it went down, I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. I feel like it's going to be like they'll cover it up and it'll get something else. It'll get like minimized because that's what this family does. Yeah. Christians do not judge others. Exactly, Erica. And I think all of you that are Christians on my channel that watch me every day know that those of you that are doing it the right way are actually awesome people and wouldn't be judging this. But this is the family of judgers now about to be judged by the whole world. So tell me what you think. Are you surprised by this? Do you think somebody was getting it down and dirty? Like, was she inviting Joe Biden? Oh, God. Could you imagine? What if she was getting down and dirty with like a Democrat in the bathroom and Todd walked in on her? That would be so amazing. What if secretly one of them is a Democrat? Or what? What if one of them came out as an atheist? Oh, God. The possibilities are endless here. I would die if it were any one of those things, but of course it won't be. And again, these are just my speculations at this point. But I swear, whenever something like this happens, it's always something super dramatic. So I'm just waiting. I'm waiting on bated breath to find out what that is. And as soon as I figure it out, I will let you guys know. For now, that's all I've got. I will be back with, as promised, the stream about Honey Boo Boo and Pumpkin, because I do have a good update for you on that one. Bye, guys.